On your handout, you're going to see that I have two boxes, and those two boxes talk about two special bases associated with logarithms. As you look at those two boxes, what I want you to see is that I've given you an item in terms of what the base is, but I've also given you some information about how you read it and how you think about it in terms of a definition, in terms of some terminology items. So if you haven't done it yet, go ahead and read the information in the next two boxes. So as you look at part E, this refers to the first box. Anytime you see a logarithm and the base of the logarithm isn't written, the assumed base is 10. So this is log base 10 of 1,000. So once again, what this problem is asking us to find is what is the exponent you need to have on a 10 in order to get the answer of 1,000. Now, we've talked about this before, that anytime you're talking about powers of 10, a nice trick to remember is that the number of zeros after the 1 tells you which power you're looking at. So if you count these out, we have 1, 2, 3 zeros. That means that 1,000 is the same as 10 to the third power. So once again, the log is that exponent. So log base 10 of 1,000 is the number 3, the power of 10 that makes that happen. Well, let's look at the next one then. Once again, it's log base 10. The base 10 in tradition is not written down. So the question is, what power of 10 gives us this square root of 10? Well, in order to do this problem, you have to remember another rule of exponents. Anytime you're looking at a radical, remember that radicals can be thought of in terms of fractional exponents. So anytime you have something like x to the 1/3 power, that's going to be the cube root of x. Or a more general statement, if we have x to the 1/a, that's going to be the 8th root of x. So when you look at this problem and you notice that we have a square root, the index here is 2. So that means then that I can rewrite this as 10 to the 1/2 power. Now that I know that this is the same as log base 10 of 10 to the 1/2 power, I remember that log base 10 is asking me for the power on my 10. The power on my 10 is 1/2. So the answer to this problem is the number 1/2. Now, in the second box that you just read, we also have a special notation associated with a base of e. Instead of writing it as log base e, they simply use the letters L and N. Now, as you look at this, if you read this the first time and think that's a capital I in front, I want you to make sure that you write something down to demonstrate the fact that that is in fact the letter L. It's a lowercase l followed by a lowercase n, and it stands for natural log. N for natural, L for log. So that's a nice way of remembering that it's an L followed by an N. So we have Ln of e to the 3.7. Well, once again, natural log is another way of thinking about log base e. And logs are exponents. So this is saying, what's the exponent on your e? Now, sometimes people look at this problem and they try to make it harder than it is. So once again, think about what I just said. It's asking you for the exponent on your e. I already have my e here, and I already have my exponent there. The exponent on my e is 3.7. So the answer to this problem is the number 3.7.